solutions how to reduce the climate change. Okay, so later maybe kita akan tengok nanti later. That is more on soil management lah. Okay, so who lives in the soil? Macam you boleh pernah bayangkan kan sebelum ni kalau kita korek tanah je kita tahu ada cacing, ada nanai, ada semut. Okay, but actually there is more than that. We have fungus, we have actinomycete. Okay, so what is actually their role? Setiap satu ni ada, walaupun sebesar-besar tikus tanah tu, tikus apa? Tikus mondok okay, sampai sekecil-sekecil bakteria. Okay, so they have their roles in the soil, especially bacteria. Although it is very small, but its effects are profound. Dia boleh helps to cycle nutrients, change nutrients into available forms of nutrients. Okay, dia pun ada keluarkan enzymes that is help to digest the organic matter. Banyak dia punya peranan. Okay, organic matter takkan decompose macam tu je. Dia perlukan enzim. Okay, so these enzymes come from the fungus, from the microbes, okay, which involved in decomposition process. Okay. Okay, soil is actually a habitat. Okay, kalau you tengok dekat sini, you boleh nampak the soil aggregations are very important. Sebab they need space, they need air, they need moisture. Okay, so basically a non-aggregated ataupun a soil which did not have a good structure and also chemical properties such as organic matter, okay, ataupun not chemical properties, the organic matter content is low. No, it cannot be the habitat of the animals ataupun the flora and fauna. Okay, because one of the cause is because of the food, the water restrictions and the air restriction. Okay, so in quantifying the biodiversity, okay, so in soil we have about, this is some of the organisms in the soils. Okay, so we have algae, we have fungi, we have bacteria. Okay, so soil is the source of food and energy. Okay, so fungi and bacteria is the most occurred in the soil, which you can see the dia kecil tapi jumlah dia banyak. Okay, and it species ataupun dia punya jenis varied. Okay, so soil organisms are involved in nearly every aspect of soil quality. Okay, for examples, it is important in structure ataupun menentukan aggregation sebab as I mentioned, some of the microorganisms ataupun macam cacing pun dia secretes dia punya kas ataupun tahi cacing tu which helps in soil aggregations. That is examples. Okay, so number 2, itu yang cacing. We also have what we call as bacteria ataupun microorganisms that excrete organic compounds, okay, ataupun keluarkan enzymes which act like a gum. Dia macam gum, dia melekat-lekatkan tanah tu, which it creates a aggregation. Dia bentukkan satu clump of soil. Okay, so that is some examples. Okay, then nombor 3 adalah organic matter. Nombor 2 is organic matter. It involves in the decompositions of organic matter. Without organic matter, daun you akan 100 tahun lah duduk dalam bentuk daun tu. Okay, so daripada sebesar-besar cacing sampailah sekecil-kecil cacing ataupun anak-anak, dia yang akan pecah-pecahkan daripada satu daun yang besar kepada yang pecah-pecah kan. Okay, sampailah dia diuraikan jadi compost which fungus and also bacteria get involved in the process. Okay, so decomposition itu organic matter lah. Ni decompositions of ni macam bangkai haiwan, manusia pun sendiri kita tanam kat dalam tanah pun we need these microorganisms, bacteria to decompose us. Okay, then nutrient cycling of course lah. Okay, for example nitrogen, phosphorus, apa lagi nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, sulfate. All these nutrients need microorganisms ataupun specifically its bacteria to change the unavailable forms of nitrogen, sulfate, sulfur and phosphorus to the available inorganic form of nutrient. Okay, so it's very important. Without them, duduklah baju tu warna putih dekat situ. It won't change. It can't be uptake by the crops, by the plants. Okay. Soil formation belajar kan? Okay, yang first dulu PC thought tu. P for parent material, C for climate, T for temperature, T for apa ni? O for organisms. Okay. T for topography. Lagi satu T untuk apa Anyone can help me? Saja.
Time.
Pandai. Happy saya dapat jawab. Okay, very good. Okay, betul. So, ada organisms involved. Organisms ni not only the fauna, bukan hanya microorganism ni je yang tolong, tapi pokok ni pun helps in the, pokok is organism kan juga, and it also helps in soil formations. Okay, roots dia. Okay, so that is how organisms involved in soil. Okay, it functions in soil. Okay, yang tadilah. Okay, so yang ni contoh-contoh tu lah. Nitrogen, tengok nitrogen ni dia mula-mula bila you letak dia dalam bentuk baja, berapa banyak peringkat dia perlukan bakteria, sebab bakteria pun berbeza. Ada nitrosomonas at this stage. Sekejap Ada nitrosomonas dalam bentuk kat sini. Ni nitrobacter. Okay, so ni dinitrifying bakteria yang lain pula. Okay, so maksudnya different species of bacteria are needed in different functions. Okay, so a soil which have a diverse jenis of bacteria ataupun microorganisms are better. Okay, sebab sometimes macam contoh kan ada dekat contoh dekat dalam ladang sawit sekejap Okay, contoh kat dalam ladang sawit ladang sawit ni ada satu penyakit. Saya tunjuk you Ganoderma disease. Okay, so Ganoderma disease ni dia adalah penyakit kulat tau. Dia adalah penyakit kulat. Sebenarnya dia duduk dalam tanah kulat ni. Jadi kalau kulat, kalau dia dah ada, dia akan mudah merebak kan. Okay, jadi dia akan makan dekat pangkal batang pokok sawit ni. Dia jadi macam lohong tau dekat dalam dia. Dia jadi macam macam ni. Dan pokok ni hari ni dia tegak, besok dia dah tumbang. Sebab dalam dia mereput. Kita panggil dia as apa yang nama? Basal stem rot disease. Okay, so BSR ni reput pangkal batang dia. So fungus ni nampak ni body structure dia, nampak Nampak tak cursor saya?
Nampak.
Ni nampak kan? Dia adalah sejenis kulat tau. Okay, jadi kenapa you kena have we can have diverse diverse bacteria ataupun fungus lah, tapi dalam kes ni fungus lah. Bakteria pun sama juga kes dia, sebab this is pathogen fungus, pathogenic fungus. Okay, so this pathogenic fungus, kita ada lagi satu fungus trichoderma. Okay, so bila you ada banyak fungus dekat dalam soil, okay, dia ada yang beneficial. Sekejap macam internet saya stuck je. Hello, dengar tak?
Dengar.
Okay, ada lagi satu fungus ni namanya trichoderma. Okay, jadi trichoderma ni bila you letak dia dekat soil kan, dia akan macam berlawan tau. Okay, jadi trichoderma ni dia akan combat si ganoderma ni tadi. Trichoderma. Okay. Tak ada pula gambar trichoderma ni. Trichoderma ni dia duduk dekat hujung-hujung oil palm lah. Dia duduk macam dekat hujung-hujung oil palm. Tak ada pula gambar dia. Dia akan duduk dekat roots oil palm. Ni kot sekejap Okay. Okay, ni contoh lah trichoderma ni duduk. Okay, jadi trichoderma ni dia akan dominate kawasan tu dan dia akan macam like membunuh lah si pathogen fungus which is in this case ganoderma lah. Faham tak? Okay, so what I want to say here, the diverse the apa ni, the species the better. Maksudnya you ada macam-macam sebab ada yang patogenik tapi selalunya patogenik ni dia tak dominan lah unless dia dah berjaya menakluki kawasan tu, yes dia akan jadi dominan. Tapi if you have a healthy soil, okay, selalunya dekat dalam baja pun kita letak tau what we call as apa kita panggil beneficial microbes. Okay, bila kita letak beneficial microbe ni dia enhance the growth of the, not only enhancing the growth dari segi penukaran nutrien tapi dia juga membantu dalam bentuk ni lah to combat against the pathogens, pathogenic fungus ataupun microbes. Sebab selalunya yang dominant adalah yang beneficial one yang baik. Okay. Okay, sekejap. Okay, so macam saya cakap tadi, the diverse the microbes ataupun the organisms, the better. Okay, so this is just a simple but its effects are profound. Okay, contohnya cacing, it is known as what we call as cacing ataupun ulat kumbang tai bahasa Melayu dia, ataupun dung beetles. Okay, their effects are profound which it can create channels, okay, which is important for the structure of the soils, the movements and circulations of the water and air. Okay, lepas tu dia provide passages that plants roots can easily flow. Okay, jadi passages ni maksudnya kan ada laluan tu, jadi tanah you tak compact. Plus bila dia dia excrete dia punya dia punya tai, okay, contoh tai cacing ni. Tai cacing adalah organic matter. Okay, jadi it helps to soil aggregations. Okay, so dia akan membantu dalam membaiki struktur tanah dan allow the roots of the plant to penetrate well. Okay, not only that, for example dung beetle ni pernah tahu tak macam mana dung beetle ni buat kerja? Ada siapa tahu tak? Mesti siapa-siapa yang suka tengok National Geographic mesti tahu. What is kumbang tahi ni punya kerja?
Dia gulung-gulung tai.
Betul. Dia bulat-bulatkan. Okay, macam tu macam ada tai lembu, seketul tai lembu besar. Tapi kerja dia pergi dekat tai lembu tu. Okay, kalau tak silap saya ada attach kat video tu kot. Okay, jadi kan dia ni akan bulat-bulatkan kecil-kecil yang macam dalam gambar ni. Dan dia akan bring from one place to another place. So this helps in the release of nutrients satu. Okay, and also enhancing the soil aggregation sebab organic matter kan, organic materials. Okay, so that is the functions of this. Tapi bukan hanya cacing ni lah, tapi you ada anak-anak, termites yang buat laluan dekat dalam tanah. It create channels which is important for the water infiltrations. Bayangkan kalau tanah you macam tanah lombong. Okay, tanah you macam tanah lombong. Okay, that's why you have to have cover crops dekat atas sebab biasanya binatang-binatang yang macam ni they need moisture. They need a good structure of soil. That's why kalau you nampak kan bila kita fikir balik sebenarnya the start of everything is a good structure of soil. Okay, barulah it enhance the biologicals, and lastly it will affect the chemicals properties. Okay, tapi chemical properties ni it also depends on the parent materials jugalah. Tapi the start of everything is physical properties have to be good. Okay, then the living things can come. Okay, so apa yang menyebabkan ada kawasan a lot of microorganisms, ada yang tak ada banyak ni? That is because of course macam saya cakap, the start of everything is organic matter. Organic matter makes the soil live. Baru ada cycle dia. Okay, aeration, moisture and temperature, soil fertility and pH. Sekejap saya nak tunjuk you satu gambar. Mining soil. Okay. Farisha, can you explain to me apa yang you boleh rasa tentang jenis tanah ni?
Tak ada organic matter.
Okay, why?
Sebab kat sini dia punya tanah tu contain banyak aluminium, lepas tu dah oxidize and dah jadi aluminium toxicity. So macam
Itu jauh sangat tu pandangan. Itu yang dah next stage tau. Ni yang true observation je. Tu you dah start analyse dah. You dah digest dah benda tu. You dah bukan mendigest, you dah process dah you punya information tu. Yang you boleh nampak sekarang ni. A very clear one.
nampak okay. Sebab
Apa
tak
yang
ada banyak pokok.
Ya, tak ada banyak pokok. They remove the topsoil. Nampak tak sebenarnya bahagian atas ni yang bahagian sebenar. Yang ni dia dah remove dalam 10 kaki ke 5 kaki ke kan? Betul tak? So they remove the topsoil. What do you expect? Apa yang jadi bila remove topsoil tu? Okay, nanti saya nak tanya. Nanti. Maksudnya Farsha dah faham. Okay, Azuri Fasiha. Dia dah remove topsoil. Okay, jadi apa yang you rasa? Yang lain get ready Azuri? Azuri Fasiha? Okay, Izzah.
Ya doktor,
Tadi saya dah
apa
cakap.
jadi kalau dia remove topsoil kan?
Okay.
Dia remove sekali lah organism tu.
Pandai betul. Itu boleh. Okay lagi. Tapi sebelum dia remove, okay betul lah. Maksudnya yang existing punya organism tu dah tak ada lagi. Selain daripada organism tu you buang. Zara tak nak jawab dah. Okay, tak apa, kita cari yang lain. Siti Nur Farahin. Apa jadi?
Ya doktor. Bila dah tak ada
Topsoil.
yang topsoil,
Hmm?
nutrient yang daripada decaying organic matters tu dah tak ada.
Okay, yang tu second. Organic matters tu sendiri dah tak ada kan? So sekarang ni, okay tu satu. Nombor 3 which is another aspect yang you nampak dekat sini. Apa yang you rasa? Bukan you, sekejap nak bagi orang lain. Zuhais? Sorry. Zuharis, apa yang tak ada kat sini? Bukan tak ada. Semua dah tak ada dah. Okay, tadi dah cakap nutrient dah tak ada, organic matter dah tak ada, topsoil dah tak ada. Apa yang ada kat bawah ni? Yang ni. Apa yang you boleh rasa kat sini? Zuharis. Zuharis, kuat sikit.
Yes. Dia apa tanah yang
Apa? Tanah yang apa? Okay, ada siapa-siapa nak cuba? Sarah Muhammad Fatih.
Ya, doktor.
Apa yang jadi? Apa yang tinggal dekat sini tanah dia?
Hmm.
Okay, tak dapat jawab Okay, tak apa. Saya terangkan.
Kalau tinggal
Ha.
tanah yang tak subur, macam dia punya porosity sebenarnya hilang. Macam bulk density dia tinggi.
Betul, itulah sebab you tahu kan, you dah belajar bulk density as it increase inside the soil, yang bawah ni bulk density lebih tinggi. Selalunya bulk density dekat bahagian atas rendah, which is the soil is not compacted because there is accumulations of organic matter, ada organism kan, the soil is not compacted, tapi kat bawah ni there are no living things. Bayangkan kalau tanah ni you dah siap, semua you dah gondolkan dia, how you want to start the living soil back? Macam mana nak hidupkan dia balik? It's very hard tau. Because everything start with organic matter. Sekarang ni pokok dah tak ada. Pokok pun tak boleh nak hidup sebab tanah tu compacted. Tanah tu semua tak okay lah kan, kalau you tahu kan. Nutrient dah tak ada, topsoil dah tak ada, which is it should have the microorganism, everything. Cacing pun tak nak duduk sini, dia nak makan apa? So imagine how you want to start it back. Okay, so that's the problem. Okay, so everything have to start with organic matter. Dan kalau you tengok tadi oxygen, of course, because of the bulk density are high, the tanah is compacted. Of course lah, aeration dengan aeration akan kurang. And you can see kalau tengok moisture and temperature, the soil are exposed to the sun, directly exposed. So the moisture will be less. It's not suitable for the microbes which need extra moisture dengan cacing-cacing semua tu semua. Cacing lagilah bernafas menggunakan kulit dia. So they need moisture kan. So temperature of course high, dry, and it's not favorable for the microorganisms, bacteria, and also the enzyme. Okay, sebab because enzyme have optimum temperature kan. Okay, and also soil fertility and pH. Okay, so soil factors that affects the microorganisms growth depends on this. Bayangkan tanah jenis tadi. Okay, so where is the fertility? How is the pH? Okay, pH of course when the soil are exposed to the air ataupun without cover crops, dia akan reduce pH. So it's problem. Okay. So this is the comparisons between two types of two types of tillage. Satu yang you kerjakan tanah tu. If you see bila you kerjakan tanah tu, the area you can see that the living things, which is the organisms are lacking lah compared to the left picture, which is there is crop debris, there is organisms activity, there are the earthworm channels. The infiltration will be more, the runoff will be less. Okay, tak nampak Okay, the runoff sikit je pendek, infiltration will be inside. Okay, ni yang runoff yang saya cakap tadi. You bayangkan kalau tanah you macam tadi, which is happen in Pahang, betul tak Husna? Husna ada tak hari ni?
Betul, betul.
Mana Husna? Tak nampak. Okay. Husna?
Ya, doktor.
Okay. So nampak kan yang apa jadi kat Bentong semua tu kan ada dah sekejap saya tunjuk yang dikata puing tu kan. Sekejap. Puing tu memang betul lah, tapi the process is accelerated. Puing. Tak ada pula, ada this one. Okay, so actually saya tak ingat lah you dah belajar. Oh tak, yang tu dalam soil management. Dia start dengan sikit je gambar, actually benda ni dia start dengan sikit. Mungkin dia buat jalan, then bila hari hujan dia memburukkan lagi keadaan. Okay, so run off nampak bila kawasan you tak ada pokok, direct impact of the rain to the soil cause the soil structure to be not stabilized and dia mengganggu irrigation because tak ada cover crops dekat atas. Kalau tak, raindrops is kecil tapi profound dia punya effect. Hujan tu jatuh, dia pecahkan tanah tu. Okay, so that is the process. Tapi you tak belajar dalam ni, you akan belajar dalam soil management kalau dia baca. Dia ada 3 proses. Dia pecahkan detachment of the soil. So soil ni akan bergerak macam bersendirian, dia akan menggelungsur lah jatuh ke bawah. Okay, so kurangnya organic matter ataupun apa ni, tanah yang compact akan menyebabkan jadi macam yang sebelah kanan ni lah. Okay, so that's the importance of maintaining a healthy soil, a living soil. Okay. Okay, in order for us to understand how biological affects our soils, we need to understand a little about the organisms who live there. Siapa sebenarnya duduk kat dalam soil ni? So actually soil is alive. Walaupun you nampak dia adalah sejenis yang tak hidup, benda bukan hidup, kan? Okay, so actually dalam dia penuh dengan ada satu ekosistem and dia saling berinteraksi. Okay, so in soils, in 1 gram of soils dia ada 100 juta bacteria cells. Okay, so we have 11,000 species of bacteria, which is also fungi and also larger animals. Okay, so this is how it is arranged. Okay, you see here, most are teeny one. Okay, kita ada juga which is we have macrofauna and megafauna. Contohnya tikus tanah, ular. Okay, tapi kita ada ants, termites, spider, siput. Okay, earthworm which is the macrofauna, tapi the most one which is profound, it functions are profound are virus, bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, nematodes, microarthropods and archaeotraits. Okay, so tapi yang paling penting adalah bacteria, fungi and also algae, which is related to agriculture and maintaining the soil lah, soil health. Okay, so the size and classifications in decomposers food webs by body width are ranging. Okay, so selalunya bacteria, fungi, nematodes are the paling kecil lah, paling kecil. Okay. Okay, so these are just a few examples. Kita ada a few types of microorganisms lah, daripada sebesar-besarnya sampai sekecil nematodes and also bacteria. Okay. Okay, so kita ada these are few types. Okay, termite, earthworm, snail, voles and centipede. Okay. Ground beetles, ants, all these have their own functions. Okay, so bacteria are the most abundant microbes in the soils. Okay, a teaspoon of productive soil generally contains between 100 million. Bayangkan satu sudu tu ada 100 million bacteria. Walaupun satu sudu teaspoon Okay, so bacteria have a lot of functions which is very important into the soils. They act as a decomposers. It can act as a mutualist with nitrogen fixers, which is dia bekerjasama dengan pokok dekat, sebab dia duduk kat root nodules and they help to tadi tukar nitrogen daripada baja amonium kepada nitrate kan, tapi ada bacteria which is nitrogen fixing bacteria, dia helps to capture the nitrogen from the air. Sebab kita tahu dalam udara kita ada berapa persen nitrogen? Syairin boleh jawab?
Tak ingat doktor.
78%. Oksigen 21 kan? Okay, jadi kita ada 78% of nitrogen in the air. Okay, so daripada kita beli baja, baik kita grow macam pokok kekacang. Pokok kacang kan boleh menukarkan nitrogen daripada from the air to the nitrogen in the forms of that can be kept in the soil. Okay, so boleh kita tanam pokok kekacang that helps to enhance the soil nitrogen, bantu baik pulih nitrogen. Sebab nitrogen ni dia dalam bentuk NO3 minus kan, sedangkan soil you dalam bentuk negatif juga. Negatif and negatif dia akan repel between each other. So selalunya nitrate ataupun nitrogen ni dia punya problems adalah leaching. Dia akan hilang kecuali kalau calcium, magnesium dia dalam bentuk cation which is positive kan, Ca2 positif, Mg2 positif. Dia can be hold by the soil. Tapi sebab soil sifat dia ada CEC. CEC is the cation exchange capacity which is the ability of the soils to hold the cation, meaning that the soil charge are negative. Kan? Kenapa soil charge ada dalam negatif? Sebab ada isomorphous substitutions, the process of isomorphous substitutions that create the negative charge left. Okay, so tengok balik yang tu. Okay, then it also can be as a pathogens, but it also can fight ataupun combat the pathogens. Last one is it is also a chemoautotroph. Okay, which it depends on the what dia punya cycles depends on the chemicals fixations. Okay. Can we take 5 sekejap?
Boleh. Boleh.
Sekejap kita sambung sekejap Okay, can we continue? Can continue. Semua dah ada.
Yes, Doktor.
Okay. Okay. So I just would like to introduce to you. Okay.
Ada
So
doktor. Dah doktor.
okay. Slide semua dah share dengar eh. Oh, kamera saya tak buka. Okay, I would like to introduce to you, macam saya dah terangkan juga sikit-sikit tadi, a few important bacteria which we have a nitrogen fixing bacteria tadi yang saya cakap it can convert nitrogen, which is nitrogen from the gas, okay, from the atmosphere, change that into a, 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 a into a form which can be kept in the roots of the legumes. Okay. So number 2, we have nitrifying bacteria. These are some important bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria which can change ammonium to nitrite, okay, and then nitrite to nitrate. Okay, dia the proses ni, nitrifying bacteria ni, walaupun proses nitrification ni berlaku daripada NH4 kepada NO2 kepada NO3, dia ada dua. To the extent it has 2 types of bacteria, which is Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter. Okay, so kalau macam saya cakap lah, the diverse the species of the bacteria, the better lah. Okay, the type of the bacteria kan. Okay, then we have also denitrifying bacteria. Denitrifying bacteria is not macam not very, bukan tak bagus, tapi kita tak perlukan dia sangat lah. Tapi it can reach it converts under anaerobic conditions, tak ada oksigen, dia tukarkan kepada nitrate yang tadi itu kepada nitrite. Kepada nitrite dan juga nitrogen gas. Which is nanti you punya soil tak ada nitrogen lah sebab dia dah release through gases. Okay. Then we have actinomycete. Sekejap saya tadi order gas pula sampai. Sekejap nanti saya ni balik. Okay, sorry sambung balik. Okay, dengar tak?
Dengar.
Okay. So,
Dengar.
yang tadi denitrifying bacteria. So denitrifying bacteria ni kita tak perlukan dia sangat lah. Tapi macam saya cakap, under anaerobic conditions, dia akan menukarkan, this bacteria akan ada. Okay. So denitrifying maksudnya ditukarkan daripada yang kita nak nitrate tu kepada N2, which is nanti akan menyebabkan tanah tu kekurangan nitrogen lah. Okay. So another one is we have actinomycetes. Okay. Actinomycetes is a part of a large group of bacteria that grows as hyphae like fungi. Okay. So they are responsible for the characteristic earthy smell. Pernah tak masuk kat dalam apa ni, dalam hutan, bau macam bau tanah tu kan, ada satu bau tu. Okay, that is because actinomycetes. Okay, ni gambar bawah ni adalah actinomycetes. So it also plays important roles which dia ni tolong process of decompositions of hard materials. Contohnya macam dinding apa ni, dinding cellulose of our materials lah, ke tumbuhan ke apa semua kan, macam cell wall which built by the calcium, yang tu dia tolong, which is it can't be done by bacteria, tapi actinomycete play that roles. Okay, so other than that we have fungus. Okay, fungus ni it's a fruiting structure. Okay, macam saya cakap tadi, dia ada pathogenic, ada yang baik, ada yang decomposers, okay, ada yang mutualitic macam mycorrhiza tadi, dia bekerjasama dengan akar which helps to, mycorrhiza tadi memanglah dia combat the pathogens yang ganoderma, tapi at the same time dia, saya share screen tak? Okay, share. Okay, at the same time dia juga adalah dia sebab dia duduk kat akar, dia tolong, sebab fungus ni badan dia macam telap kan, telap. It can absorb water and nutrients. So dia tolong akar tu lagi besar, sebab dia duduk kat hujung-hujung akar, dia besarkan akar tu lagi, luaskan penguasaan akar tu, dan dia tolong menyerap air dan nutrients. Okay, so that is the functions of the fungus also. Okay, so fungi ni dia adalah hardy, which dia boleh hidup dekat dalam kawasan with low pH or slightly acidic soil. Okay, where soils tend to be undisturbed. Okay, so fungi are an important part of the microbial ecologies because dia pun sama macam actinomycete tadi, dia helps to decompose the hard to digest materials ataupun macam lignin, cell wall. Okay, bakteria ni dia selalu dalam peringkat awal decomposition dia uraikan macam yang organic acid, protein yang mudah diuraikan. Okay, tapi yang kerja-kerja yang hard to decompose tu adalah mycorrhizae, fungi ataupun actinomycete lah selalu. Okay, so next selain daripada tu kita ada invertebrates, earthworms. I think yang ni you dah tahu dah how it helps. It improve water holding capacity, improve infiltration sebab dia create the channels kan. So root growth channels untuk root penetration. Okay, then we have arthropods, okay, shredders, we have predators, we have herbivores, fungus feeders. All these have macam almost the same functions with yang creating the channels tu lah. Okay, so actually a healthy soil macam tangan you kat bawah, macam dalam tangan ni geli kan tengok kan. Okay, tapi ni mungkin tanah yang dia biarkan cacing kot. Okay, tapi it should be that way. You nampak dia macam gebu je. Okay, macam healthy. Okay, so benefit of earthworms, these are some examples. It improve nutrient availability because dia helps, dia makan organic matter tu dan dia hasilkan najis dia. Najis dia are very rich in nitrogen. So it helps not only providing the nutrient but it also providing the organic decomposed materials ataupun organic materials kan, sebab kalau you tengok balik organic materials have higher capacity to hold cation ion, CEC dia tinggi. Okay. So it also helps to improve drainage because it create channels, it improve soil structure sebab dihasilkan the taik najis dia tu adalah macam boleh melekat-lekatkan tanah. So better soil structure, and also it improve productivity because it contributing to the nutrients. Okay, so ecosystem engineers are actually all the microorganisms which helps in changing the structural compositions, also changing the abiotics and also biotic changes. Okay, so the combinations of these creates and what we call as a stable soil ecosystems, not only focusing on nitrogen but also the physical properties of the soils. Okay, so strategies for protecting and encourage. Sebab macam saya tunjuk contoh tadi, you boleh nampak kan kawasan yang terdedah kepada aktiviti humans practices macam perlombongan, you have kawasan tu terganggu kan. Okay, so nampak dari segi moisture, aeration, soil compaction, nutrient availability, organic matter tu. So that is the fundamental element. So how you want to encourage, okay, so of course limit soil disturbance, okay. Sebab tu kat dalam forest selalunya kalau macam ni lain lah cerita dia, macam you nak isolate bacteria untuk buat bacteria untuk buat apa tu panggil, ya Allah, antibiotics kan. Okay, so sebenarnya kita isolate dia dari satu kawasan yang isolated tau. Okay, so sebenarnya kawasan isolated ni have a diverse type of bacteria. Okay, so makin diverse makin banyak sebenarnya each functions in soil, ataupun not only soil but it affects dia adalah might be beneficial to us. Okay, restoring overlie compacted soils to allow air and water movement. Macam saya cakap tadi, because air and water are affected kat kawasan mining tu. Nampak dia kering, panas, okay. Covering soil with mulch, because mulch ni mulching. Mulching ni adalah satu teknik yang, sekejap saya tunjuk. Might some of you tak tahu. Okay, so mulching ni adalah menutup permukaan tanah menggunakan materials. Okay. It can be a synthetic one. Synthetic kita pakai ni, tapi selalunya still lagi panas lah. Tapi because it cannot absorb water, it can only retain water. Dia boleh kurangkan evaporation water. Tapi kalau you letak mulching yang macam ni, dia macam sponge kan. Dia boleh simpan air dan lambat air tu hilang. Okay, so do mulching, okay, because you are providing the organic matter which is the food for the organisms, and also maintaining the moisture and also the structure, sebab dia porous kan, organic materials dia boleh circulate water, air, oxygen. Then avoid pesticide. Of course, pesticide dia akan sambil you nak buang serangga tu, you also killing the beneficial microbes. Okay, planting a diverse garden, okay, to provide a variety of food sources. Returning mulch lawn clippings to the soil, maksudnya you buat what we call as conservation tillage. Okay, pernah dengar tak saya cerita pasal conservation tillage? Okay, so conservation tillage. Okay, so conservation tillage adalah actually you are, sekejap student saya call. Hello, Mas. Ada kat dalam situ, letak nombor dekat untuk post laju tu, nombor telefon dia. Si bagi nombor telefon saya ke? Tak, bukan. Dekat ni. Oh, maksudnya receiving tu nombor phone dia lah. Ada yang dekat dalam message saya bagi tu. Dia notes kat bawah tu. Kejap saya tengok. Kejap Kejap. Sekejap Okay. Okay, allowing leaves and other materials to decompose in the garden. Okay, sebab nanti you akan belajar tentang organic matter. Organic matter ni ada warna hijau, ada warna coklat. So the more variety, the more of the nutrients yang berbeza-beza dia bagi dekat dalam you punya garden. Okay, habis. Okay, so that is how you can encourage how microorganisms can live in your garden. So it's very vital for you to actually dia punya key adalah reduce soil disturbance ataupun we go towards conservation tillage ni. Conservation tillage ni macam saya tunjuk tadi. Okay, so conservation tillage ni kalau dulu kita bersihkan conservation tillage versus conventional tillage. Okay, sekejap nak tunjuk. Conservation tillage ni ada dua. Okay, satu yang sebelah kiri ni you nampak dia bersihkan. Okay, which is conventional tillage. Kalau conservation tillage, you are leaving the past residue of the crops untuk tinggal je. So that antara kebaikan dia adalah you are providing the organic matter which is the source of the food. You are also conserving, sebab bila you buat macam kiwi ni, tanah dia terdedah kepada panas dan bahang tu boleh hilangkan the moisture, tapi yang ni dia conserve the moisture and protect the soil surface, so it is not easily dry out and ada moisture. And also you are providing the source for the carbon which is the food lah for the microorganisms. Okay, and it doesn't have a direct impact on direct sun impact on the soil surface. Okay, so basically dia punya cara adalah conventional and no tillage. No tillage dia tak buang langsung pun sisa-sisa tanaman lama. Conventional tillage, you are extensively working with the soil. Okay, extensively working maksudnya you bersihkan tanah tu, buang apa yang ada, tapi the soil will get easily dries out meaning that destructions of the soil structure also. Okay, so any questions? Do you have any questions? So basically kalau kita tengok balik, if we flashback during our lecture, sebenarnya saya kebanyakan lab and also my lab and also field trip saya includekan kat dalam lecture which I explain kan the procedure during the lecture. So I really hope that you can submit your assignment on time, because none of your time which is the lab time saya ambil masa untuk buat lab, no. Okay, so I believe that you have ample time which is also extra time. Kalau tengok balik masa petang ni saya tak buat lab, which you should allocate that time to to focus on my ni. I purposely masukkan dekat within my lecture time. Kadang kita extend kan sampai 12.30 our lecture. That is because of you can ada satu masa yang tak terganggu untuk you focus on the lab report. Betul tak, Shairin?
Betul.
I hope nobody can boleh cakap kat saya you have a lot of assignments and you don't have enough time. Contohnya macam petang ni, okay, so saya ada assignment. I really hope that you can finish that during my lab time. Sebab on the 14 weeks kita akan ada quiz and also petang tu presentations. Okay, on the 14 weeks. So that is reserved dah. Tapi kita ada still lagi extra time hari ni, minggu depan. 11, 12, minggu lagi satu. Which is our lab dah settle. Alhamdulillah. So yang tak settle lagi, you punya field trip report. Lab number 4. And lab number 3 dah hantar kan? Dah settle kan? Lab number 3.
Dah.
Okay, dengan assignment. Okay, so okay, for today's assignment which will be due, saya bagi 14 hari. Okay, I will explain regarding the assignment. This is the last assignment, which is the second assignment. I cannot give this assignment early because it's like the combinations of what you have learned from first towards the end of the topic. Okay, so saya tak boleh bagi awal-awal. So tapi I rasa minggu ke-11 dah okay dah kan, sebab you still have some time sampai minggu ke-13 yang ni. Okay, so actually kita dah belajar about the necessity of physicals, biologicals and chemical factors to be considered when you are doing planting jobs, okay, ataupun you are growing crops. Okay, so what your task is, you are required to discuss factors, okay, the combinations what you have learned at your within your first 3-4 weeks. Then after that you have learned about the chemical properties. And the last one, you dah belajar about the biological aspect, which I belum masuk lagi organic materials aspect. Tapi from time next week insyaAllah we will cover. So maybe you can leave that part sekejap untuk organic matter, which is the biological aspect, untuk saya ajar minggu depan. Then we settle. Okay. So other than that you can start to do now. Okay. So this macam biasa, my style is your assignment would be in a mind map form or a mini poster. Saya dah pernah tunjuk tak contoh mini poster tu? Pernah ke Mas Rizal? Siapa lain? Dengar ke tak ni? Mas Rizal? Syairin dengar tak Syairin? Nurin dengar saya tak?
Belum tunjuk kot.
Dengar.
Ni adalah antara in one A4 presentation, you boleh correlate apa yang the process. Maksudnya macam mana you nak correlatekan interrelated the physicals, biologicals and chemicals aspect to actually the goals are to achieve a healthy soil. So please don't put points, but you have to explain, okay, about your points. Okay, so these are some of the presentations yang saya bukan presentations, apa ni, some of the ni lah, siapa nama dia, macam nama seorang lagi tu, Fazal Sila. Sorry, ini bukan. Okay. Okay, ni antara je lah. Okay. So try to, tapi this is level level concentration which is in her third year. So it's not as complicated as this, tapi you can see lah how they combine. And in a mind map, although it's a mind map, it should be informative. I can see the content of it, the explanations which reflect your understanding. Okay? Nampak? Cantik kan dia buat kan? Cantik and informative. You boleh study guna ni je. Sebab dia macam mind map, which is it has the conclusions, it has how it is interrelated, how interactive it is. Okay? Do you have any question? Okay, so these are the marks allocated which you should discuss the physical, biological, and chemical aspect. And please, it doesn't stand alone. How you interrelate between the three elements. Okay, in the conclusions you have to come up with your own perspective and critics ataupun you punya pendapat tentang on how enhancing the soil health is important after you discuss the three aspect. Okay, so the last date of the submissions adalah 14 hari, which is on the 19th of January, which is next week. Okay, so kita punya lecture will finish on the week 14, which is end of the month kan, 30 January last. So do you have any question regarding this assignment? Saya dah upload dekat dalam iTaklim. Okay.
Doktor,
Yes.
yang mind map tu boleh lebih daripada one page ke?
My map tu boleh lah 1 to 2 page, tapi sebenarnya kalau boleh saya request 1.
Okay, doktor.
Kalau tak you buat, dia bukan about page, dia macam tadi you nampak yang saya share tu, dia bukan one page tu, tapi in one piece of paper macam tu. Tak pastilah guna apa, maybe you can check. Boleh tak? Macam tadi kan, pakai macam poster, saya rasa tak sure format apa, sebab dia hantar kat saya pakai PDF. Nampak ni ada panjang ni. Tapi not as long as this lah, sebab ni untuk third year level. Very, very detail. Okay. Tapi I believe kalau tak cukup, kalau the maximum is 2 lah. Okay. Sebab saya nak you interrelate, connectkan between each factors. Okay.
Okay, doktor.
Nurin okay?
Okay.
Sharifah Inshira okay? Sharifah Abarina okay? Betul ke Sharifah Inshira, Sharifah Abarina?
Okay.
Sarah Muhammad Fatih okay? Saya selalu panggil Sarah tapi macam tak ada je. Sarah? Okay. Azuri okay? Azuri Fasiha?
Okay, doktor.
Arisha okay? Izzah? Nadia Amira?
Okay, doktor.
Okay, so if you guys have any problems, you can text me personally untuk tanya, just in case you tak faham ataupun you ada macam confused sikit from my instruction, you can always ask. Tak nak ask dalam group, boleh tanya personally. As long as I can clarify for you, make it clear for you. Okay? So that it's easy for you to ni. Okay, so please who have not submit my assignment, petang ni saya tak ada kelas, saya tak ada apa, ada 2 sampai pukul 5. A time allocated for you to finish all the tasks. Okay? So hopefully you can submit your assignments and lab report. Siapa yang belum hantar and siapa yang dah siap tu, you can focus on your field lab number 4 assignments and also field trip and presentations can initiate discussion. Okay, which the time is allocated for you. Clearly, berapa jam saya tak buat. Tak ada kelas and lab. Okay. So, tak ada istilah, tak ada masa. Macam tu. Okay. So, thank you very much and Assalamualaikum. Take care semua.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Okay.
Thank you, Doktor.